Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing. And today let's talk about, things that we do that make our life a little bit more difficult for us in fly fishing. And one of the ones I keep running across, to quote or to paraphrase a legal expression, people invent problems not in evidence. Meaning they assume there's going to be a problem with a particular piece of tackle or a method of fishing or whatever it happens to be that really doesn't exist. It's just how they visualize it. A perfect example, and this one really got to me, is that back when I was heavily into Scandinavian shooting heads, I had a fellow online, a fellow Great Lakes angler, tell me that you couldn't catch steelhead on a shooting head because it was European. You had to use the Skagit setups that they used out west or you wouldn't catch fish. The fact that I caught plenty of fish on the shooting head meant nothing to him. So he'd never used a Scandinavian shooting head, really knew nothing about them, but hey, he knew they wouldn't work. The problem, that kind of opinion, I mean, I don't care if he never uses a shooting head, that doesn't matter. But the thing is, putting that information online became the problem because it influences other people who think, well, yeah, you got to use what they use out west so you won't catch anything. That has an impact on people. And it was based on pure ignorance. I mean, the guy had never used a shooting head. So he was making assumptions about shooting heads based on what he liked to do. And that's really where the problem is. There's nothing wrong with liking Skagit systems. That's fine. I fish Skagit systems. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with liking it. But to say that something else is not going to work because you prefer Skagit, no. So those types of problems, when they're replicated online, influence other people to make bad decisions about their tackle. The other one is when there's a genuine problem. Let's say a guy buys a rod, he buys the line that's recommended for the rod, goes out, starts casting the thing, and struggles. And says online, oh, this rod's lousy, or this line is lousy, or whatever. Well, no, it's his casting. I'd read these things online and go, no, it's not the rod, not the line. That combination will work just fine. It's you. It's your casting. Go get some lessons. I've had one incident in my entire lifetime of swinging two-handers of where genuinely was the rod and not the angler. I had a client come to me with a rod and a line which should have worked. And he said, can you teach me how to cast this thing because I can't cast it? And I'm watching him thinking, he's not doing too bad. Let me try his rod. And it was pretty awful. And as I started trying different lines on it, I found one line would work. If you got outside of that range, the rod was garbage. So that's one incident where it really was the rod. All the other ones, guess what? It's not the rod. It's not the line. They will work. If somebody who, if you're talking about a shop that sells a lot of two-handers, they know their product, they know the lines, they know what works. And a lot of it is just to make sure, there's so much choice out there, is to make sure those line choices are right for us. Because that's the other side of the problem. The person might be able to cast okay, but it's not the type of line they want to use to fish. It just doesn't suit their fishing. But again, there's nothing wrong with the product. It's just that they bought something that's not suitable for them. So those are the two things I want to talk about because I keep seeing them come up over and over and over again in online discussions. If we like something, that's cool. It doesn't mean something else doesn't work. It just means we like what we use. Fair enough. The other thing is, if there is a genuine problem, is look for the root cause. Don't automatically look to blame the rod or blame the line, because often it's not there, it's somewhere else. So just some things to think about on kind of a dreary Wednesday. So my mood kind of matches the weather. Cheers.